Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Vault, a podcast devoted to exploring the secrets to building wealth. I'm your host, Nick, and today we'll be discussing the power of money, clearly something at the forefront of everyone's minds. Money is all around us. This podcast is focused on building wealth, and so money is clearly a central concept that will be in focus. Money controls the world. It drives global economics, and it drives most of our individual daily interactions and decisions. Those with money are said to have power. Society generally holds those with money higher than those without. It has become an obsession in our world. Those who don't have it want it, and those who have it want more of it. There's no way around it. Money makes the world go round. One thing we've stated from the beginning of this podcast is that in order to become wealthy, successful, and happy, you must be open to changing your mindset, changing your underlying programming. Think about it. Whatever you've been doing and however you've been thinking has brought you to this point you're at now. Has it worked? Do you have all the wealth and success you desire? This podcast has so far asked you to reconsider how you define wealth, not seeing it as just financial wealth, but thinking about the 5 pillars of wealth: financial, time, physical, mental, and social. We've also given you our statement for the law of success. Identify your definite chief aim and pursue it relentlessly to the detriment of other pursuits as necessary. It is simple and direct, and we will use it often. If you follow this statement for the law of success and execute it, success is inevitable. We've also discussed the law or power of attraction and briefly touched on the idea of manifestation. The law of attraction demands that you change your thinking so that you think about and focus on the things you want and thereby attract them. In short, building wealth and creating success demands that you open your mind and possibly change your mindset and your underlying programming. If what you've been doing and the way you've been thinking hasn't gotten you where you want to be, then it's time to change the way you think and the way you act, and it's time to get on the right path. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. If what you've been doing hasn't worked, stop doing it. Play the tape forward several years. If you stay on your same path, is it going to get you where you want to be? If not, then change it. And so we invite you to examine the way you think about money. Really think about money and your interactions with it. Does it control you, or do you control it? This episode is about understanding money and the power of money. In order to conquer money, you must first understand it, and you may have to question your beliefs about money. Just wanting more of it simply doesn't work. Just getting more of it may work in the short term, but unless you understand it, you will fail to conquer it. We will look at some concepts and ways to think about money that will allow you to rethink money and its power in the world, its power over you, and your power over it. What is money? First and foremost, it is a tool. Humans created money many thousands of years ago and across many cultures, independent of one another. It is not a natural resource. It did not exist before humans. It is a tool that was created by humans in order to aid in transactions, aid in the exchange of goods and services, facilitating trade away from the direct barter system. It was created out of necessity, and now it seemingly controls the world and all of humanity. But never forget that money is simply a tool created by humans. It is not an innate, intrinsic thing like water or food or the sun. It is inanimate. In fact, money does not have power unless that power is assigned by humans. We idolize money, but it should not be idolized. It should be understood for what it is. Money has become essential in our world and in society. There is no way around that. We simply cannot function without it. It impacts our behavior, our personal choices. It gives us and our society stability. Like a score in the corner of a video game, it often controls every thought and interaction in our daily lives. If you think you can exist in a world without money, you are wrong. If you think money is evil, just remember that only humans can attach importance or emotions to inanimate objects. Once again, money is simply a tool created by humans. It serves a function in our world, and in order to move consciously and deliberately through your life, it is important to understand money's function, its strengths, and its limitations. It is not necessarily the answer to all your troubles. It is simply a tool. Our society, to some degree, equates money with power. That can definitely be the case, as money can allow one to make others bend to his or her will, if money is to change hands. Or even if there is the expectation of financial gain from someone who either has money or the control of money. One who controls money has freedom of action, within limits, of course. Money serves many functions. It aids in trade and transactions, but it also gives one security. If someone has ample money, that person can afford comfort. They can pay others to provide goods and services and act on their behalf. They can excel in other areas of wealth, such as time and physical wealth. As a tool, money can get things. It can provide peace of mind. It can open doors that those without money cannot open. Money makes things possible. As mentioned, money allows freedom of action. If a person does not have $1, then their actions are limited. But if that person does have $1, they can choose to use that dollar as they see fit. They can keep it, or they can exchange it for something. Because other people want that dollar, and those people are willing to provide goods or services in order to get that dollar. However, once that dollar has been traded for something, freedom of action for that original person, derived from that dollar, has been taken away or diminished. Using that same logic, debt has been equated to a form of slavery. If someone owes someone else $1, then that person must give something or do something in order to gain $1, so that they can repay the dollar they owe. In essence, borrowers are constrained by lenders, and any form of debt limits freedom of choice and freedom of action. While there are some benefits to debt, as we will explore in future episodes, we can see how the tool of money can be used to exert power over others. Money can also be used to make more money. We will explore the various ways that money can be used to make more money, such as speculation, investing, lending money with interest, production from components, etc., in future episodes. But for now, it is important to know that money can be used to make more of it. Think about this. If you have just $100 to your name, then making an additional $100 can be a very difficult task. However, if you have $1 million to your name, then $100 is simply a rounding error, and gaining an additional $100 demands very little effort. We've explained that money can get things, and it can open doors, but it also has limitations, and understanding these limitations is just as important as understanding what it can do. It is said that money cannot buy happiness. Jokingly, money cannot buy happiness, but it does make sadness more comfortable. Or, money cannot buy happiness, but poverty cannot buy anything. These are funny statements to keep in mind, but the reality is that many people with lots of money are unhappy, depressed, or unfulfilled. So it is important to keep money and the pursuit of money in the larger context of overall wealth, happiness, and success. Money can also not directly buy time or health. No amount of money has so far created immortality, a time machine, or a cure for cancer. It also cannot force others to do as they do not wish. It can only invite them to act. Being an inanimate object, it only has power if given power by humans. If someone chooses not to give power to money in a situation, then that money has no power. The power that we assign to money is really more influence than anything. Money also comes with moral attachments that society has instilled, and actions like bribery and fraud can end up costing a person who commits those actions money, time, or other resources. Understanding money and the power of money should be at the forefront of your journey to wealth. You must understand its uses, its functions, its strengths, and its limitations. You must understand how you view money and whether you have power over it or whether it has power over you. Is there a dollar amount that consumes you? Is the dollar amount itself important, or is it something else that you desire? Is money simply a tool and a means to get you what you want? Is money the only means to get you there? Or do you desire money because it provides you freedom of action and choice? Yes, money can solve problems, but it can also consume you, and it can keep you in the hamster wheel if you do not understand it. Go back to the pillars of wealth. Go back to the law of success. Think about what you truly want, and determine how money fits into that context. Can money help you get there? Is money the only way to get there? Is money the end state, or will you take control and conquer money as a tool? Understand this. The vast majority of people in the world live paycheck to paycheck, are unhappy and unfulfilled, or they don't know any better. Are you one of them? Do you think the way that others think, especially when it comes to money? Or are you willing to examine the way you view money and possibly change your thinking? Do you see money as a tool? Do you want to have the control and the power? Or will you let money have power over you? It's your choice. This podcast is an invitation to change the way you think. Study money. Understand your relationship with it. Understand its power and the power you give to it. Form an improved concept of money that works for you as you pursue your path to wealth. Thank you for listening to this episode of The Vault. Place money where you feel it belongs in the context of wealth, success, and happiness. Continue to form your understanding of money going forward in your interactions and experiences. Be sure to follow us and subscribe in order to receive new episodes as they are posted. Thank you for listening to The Vault.